All right, good afternoon. Mr. Fine, for the record, please. Ms. Hecker.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman. Just preliminarily, as you know, we had filed actually two applications relating to the same premises for 2809 Boston Street. One was an application for a new Class B license, and the other was for the transfer of the existing Class BD7 license.
So you will be withdrawing one.
Well, what has occurred is, you may know earlier this week, we sent you a letter saying that we would like to proceed on the new application for a Class B license because there were some outstanding liens with the state on the existing license. We've reached an agreement conceptually with the comptroller's office on the existing tax liens, and based on that conceptual agreement, we would like to proceed on the BD7 license. However, we are not quite ready to withdraw the Class B application yet. We understand that only one license can be issued for this location, and that a new hearing will be required if we need to change to the B license at some point before the BD7 license is issued.
We'll hear from you.
Okay, thank you.
We've got a narrative you've put together. We'll make that the first exhibit.
Thank you. Since I believe the existing licensee is here and doesn't object to the proposed transfer, I'd like to proceed by way of a proffer with your permission. I have passed out a folder full of exhibits. We're joined here today by Carol Eugene Singleton, the president of Canton Waterfront Restaurant, Victoria Rothgeb, who is the licensee applicant, Baltimore City resident, Tammy Reese, who's the general manager of the restaurant, is with us in the audience. Joan Taylor, a representative of the landlord, is also present in the audience, as is Dan Tracy of the Canton Community Association in support. Did you want to give?
Al Barry and Adam Kaufman, who represent Tendeco Wharf, our landlord, are also here.
Thank you. As I mentioned, this is an application for the transfer of the existing BD7 license to Canton Waterfront Restaurant, LLC, from Canton Beverage, Inc., trading as Bay Cafe. The applicant is Mr. Carol Eugene Singleton, Gene Singleton to those of us, and Canton Waterfront Restaurant, LLC. In your file, you'll see a certificate of good standing for Canton Waterfront Restaurant, LLC. Canton Waterfront Restaurant, LLC is owned 80% by a company called Summit Associates. Mr. Singleton and his wife each own 50% of Summit Associates. And a gentleman named Robert Solomon owns the remaining 20% of Canton Waterfront Restaurant, LLC. Boathouse Canton will be a new restaurant located on the Canton waterfront where the former Bay Cafe restaurant was previously located. It's behind the Tendeco Wharf building and a historic power plant building, and the licensed premises will include the surrounding outdoor area. It'll cater to the local Canton community and be family friendly, quiet, moderately priced. There is a sample menu in your file for your review, and if the transfer is approved, we do plan to offer alcoholic beverages to complement the menu. The restaurant is comprised of several dining areas, including an outdoor porch dining area, first floor dining, and a mezzanine level with a public-private dining area that will be available for private parties. And there will also be a bar on the first floor, as well as a bar pavilion outside. And the restaurant will also be providing alcoholic beverages in the pool area adjacent to the apartment building that's there. There are some photographs in the file showing the licensed premise area, as well as some schematic drawings with interior and exterior perspectives of the existing space in the proposed restaurant, as well as a floor plan showing the seating layout. You'll see that there are 115 seats at tables inside on the first floor of the restaurant. There also is a private dining room, as I mentioned, on the mezzanine level, which will have approximately 30 seats, for a total of 145 seats indoors. There will be 17 seats at the bar, and the outdoor area, as you'll see on the plan, is rather large, and there will be an additional 261 seats outside in the outdoor dining area, and that is shown on the schematic site plan. The proposed hours of operation are Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 12 midnight, Friday, 11 a.m. to 2 a.m., Saturday, 10 a.m. to 2 a.m., and Sunday, 10 a.m. to midnight. There's also a budget in your file showing a capital investment in the restaurant of $840,000. We do plan to offer live entertainment at this location, which is likely to be only acoustic music. We're not planning to have DJs. We will allow private parties in the private dining space to book live entertainment there as well. Tammy Reese will be the general manager. As I mentioned, she is here today. She has opened and managed the Boatyard in Annapolis for 10 years. She has extensive experience managing the day-to-day operations of restaurants with liquor licenses. Mr. Singleton as well has 21 years experience working in and managing restaurants in both Maryland and in North Carolina. He was formerly on the license of the Fairfield Hotel on Lombard and President Street here in Baltimore City, and has never had a violation on his record. Their alcohol policy will be to card everyone who appears to be under 30 years old, And both Mr. Singleton and Ms. Reese will complete an alcoholic beverages safety training course. We do believe there is the need for the BD7 license to continue at this location. Boathouse Canton is the only waterfront restaurant located directly on the promenade with unrestricted views of Fort McHenry, and the ability to serve alcoholic beverages in connection with the restaurant will further enhance the restaurant's appeal to patrons and enhance its customers' dining experience. We have met extensively with the Canton Community Association. They have supported our application. There is a letter in the file to that effect, and Mr. Tracy is here as well. We shared our plans with the Canton Cove Community Association. They deferred to the Canton Community Association. They do not object to our application. And Tendeco Wharf LLC, the landlord at our location, also supports it, and there's a letter in the file to that effect. Mr. Singleton would also testify that the application we submitted to the board is correct and accurate. He has reviewed the rules and regulations of the Baltimore City Liquor Board and agrees to abide by them. Ms. Rothgeb would testify that all of the information we have provided is also correct, and she is also familiar with the rules and regulations of the Liquor Board and agrees to abide by them. So for these reasons, we respectfully request that the existing BD7 liquor license for 2809 Boston Street be transferred to Canton Waterfront Restaurant LLC with Ms. Rothgeb and Mr. Singleton as the licensees.
Any questions, commissioners?
I have a few.
Oh, excuse me, one additional thing. We did have a petition. It is for a new Class B license, which was our alternative, but these folks would also
Proceed.
support it.
A lot of
Thank you.
thirsty folks at 25 South Charles.
Yes, there are.
All right.
All right.
Anything else?
Nothing further from us. Mr. Singleton's happy to answer any questions, as am I.
All right, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have a few questions. I noticed in your narrative, you state that there will be no DJ. I'm vaguely familiar. I think anyone worth their salt in politics is familiar with Bay Cafe. Vaguely familiar with the premises and the
Vaguely.
operating procedures. Why the change with, you mentioned family friendly, you mentioned quiet, you mentioned no DJ. That's slightly different than previous operations. Why the change?
Well, there's really two reasons. One is we want to make this business really all about food and a year-round business.
Okay.
So we want to turn the business model outside in and make it about the inside first.
Okay.
And we want to focus first on our neighbors. We don't feel like anybody in the area, although there are a lot of restaurants, are meeting all the needs of the residents. And we have over 1,000 residents that cross parking lots or come to the promenade to walk to see us. We feel like if we do that first, then we'll create a great model for other people to enjoy a great experience. So we're putting in patios and.
So you're removing the sand pits and you're putting in bricks, removing that. And that's a great segue to my next question, because when I look at this this floor plan, this is a large footprint. And you're talking about, Ms. Eckert, you were talking about providing beverages in the pool area, which I wasn't familiar with, that was a part of the footprint of the licensed establishment. Is that owned by you? That's all of that isn't covered within?
We're leasing this inside space and the outside space to the west. The pool is to the east. It's owned by Tendeco Wharf, and it's an amenity for their residents only. And so we would be providing food and beverage service to the residents for their use when they're at the pool.
So that concerns me. I guess this is a question for the attorneys. How are we serving alcohol in technically a non-licensed area that's owned by
No, it's
the apartments? It's owned, I'm a little confused.
It's owned by the same entity that owns the
It's
restaurant.
owned by you.
No, it's owned by Tendeco Wharf
Tendeco
LLC.
Wharf.
At least the restaurant space is leased to Canton Waterfront Restaurant LLC. And the licensed premises includes both the restaurant space, the outside space around the restaurant, and the pool area, all of which is owned by Tendeco Wharf LLC. So they'll be operating the alcoholic beverage service at the pool under some type of management agreement with their landlord, Tendeco Wharf LLC.
our lease agreement calls for us to provide service to their residents.
Okay. All right. And the interior, I see some schematic plans. These, it's a lot of table seats, and this is the focus, the food focus.
Exactly.
Is there any other changes as far as the kitchen? Are you?
Well, obviously, we were upgrading, adding some equipment to the
Okay.
kitchen, but not changing the layout of the kitchen. We're removing the second bar that's on the first level to add more seating for more dining.
Okay. All right. I don't have anything further. I think it's more of a comment than a question. I am
attentive, I'm not concerned yet, but I am attentive to the large space and the immediate neighborhood and the demographics who would frequent a pool and who would like to get some beverages. And I'm not going to say the word barge, but I don't want to have any concerns with this new boathouse in Canton. I'm very attentive to that possibility.
I can tell you that Mr. Kaufman's very sensitive to it. It's only going to be open to the residents at Tendeco Wharf.
You won't, what about parties? You spoke about renting out to
That would be
private parties.
That would be this
Their facility.
on the outside space. We're taking part of the space you may see there and creating a place for a party tent so we can have functions right on the water.
All right, so last question. Has there been any conversation about the pool area having separate MOUs with separate parties where they will be renting that space out and still requesting you to provide alcohol?
No conversation. I have no expectation of that.
Okay, you have no but it doesn't preclude you from doing that. That is possibility that they could rent that space out.
That's a good idea you just gave.
Someone could have a
We didn't think of that, but yes.
private party at the pool.
So I would want something to prevent that from occurring, or at a minimum, having that conversation with the community association so that,
I mean, it is something that would be controlled by the landlord, since it is, the pool is within the landlord's property. and,
Right.
You know,
it's the landlord's property, and they could rent it out to a private company who can then post it and publish it and invite people to come down here for an end of summer bash, getting alcohol from the new boathouse. I'm attentive to that possibility.
Well, or the same possibility, they could rent it out to a private party and have somebody besides us cater it.
That is true.
That's not anything I control.
yeah, I'm not sure.
If you want to hear from the landlord, he can respond.
I think they answered it. They said they,
Thank you, sir.
I have
Thank
one
you.
last information. Young lady, who are you?
Victoria,
You are the owner of the current license?
No. She's the Baltimore City taxpayer resident
Okay.
on the license.
Are you on any other licenses right now?
Yeah, she's on two other
We
licenses.
see your name a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you. Anything else?
Thank you.
No problem. All right.
Joan, you wanna-
Anything else?
Joan? And Dan, do you want to say anything?
They haven't been sworn.
You want to?
We've got the letter, but we're always happy to hear from Mr. Tracy. If he wants to tell us what he thinks. He has reduced it to writing.
I don't have anything to add, and I haven't sworn myself in.
Can we swear you in? Thank you, Mr. Tracy.
come forward, please. Thank you. Ms. Eckert.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do. Yes.
Mr. Daniel Tracy. All right, you're Vice President with the Canton Community Association, specifically with respect to liquor issues. That's your dominion there?
That seems to be.
All right. And again, you stand behind your letter of support,
Yes.
and you indicate that there was unanimous support by the board for this project.
We had a full presentation, answered a lot of questions, and we were very happy with the plan, yes.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Tracy. Appreciate your work on behalf of the neighborhood as well,
Thank you.
always. All right, anything else?
Nothing from us,
All right,
thank
we'll
you.
go off the record. We're going to go to the decision phase for December 19, 2013. Carol Singleton and Victoria Rothgeb, Canton Waterfront Restaurant LLC, trading as Boathouse Canton, 2809 Boston Street. We're here today on the transfer of a BD7 license. Mr. Singleton is appeared here today, has extensive alcohol management both in North Carolina and the Fairfield Inn here in Maryland, and still, after all that, possesses a very thick North Carolina accent, so we're happy to have you here in Baltimore. Ms. Rothgeb is the local resident, and she will go on to the license in order to satisfy the statutory requirement.
The board's review of the file indicates that Canton Waterfront Restaurant LLC is an active LLC with the State Department of Assessments and Taxation as of December 17th. Additionally, as far as character witnesses go, the board has determined, with the help of the State Department of Assessments and Taxation and the Baltimore City Board of Elections, that Caroline Hecker of 1015 Elwood is a registered voter and a property owner, and Mr. Stanley Fine of Dockside Circle is also a registered owner and a voter, as is Sharon McNew of Grundy Street. So, based on the support from the Canton Community Association based on the extensive experience of the applicant and other factors. The board will determine under 10202A, there's certainly a public need and desire for this transfer, a de minimis impact on the existing licensees in the nearby vicinity, a potential uniqueness of products to be offered by your business, and a negligible impact on the general health, safety, and welfare of the community, crime, traffic, parking, or convenience. So we're going to go ahead and approve this transfer today, and indeed wish you the very best of luck. I think Bay Cafe was there for 20 years, so hopefully you'll have a similar run. Nice to meet you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you
Off the
all,
record.
and happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Thank you.